What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the ever-charming Dr. Disaster. And, as we discussed the other day, it appears that the 2024 Doctor Who Christmas Special was a massive flop in the UK, with an overnight viewing figure that was well below the previous year. But, over in the United States, Ncuti Gatwa is truly Doctor
Who?
One of the defenses that I hear from people who get really butthurt when you point out how badly this show is doing in the UK relative to its former might and glory, one of the primary defenses is them going, well, the show has a ton of new viewers in the United States now because of all the people that will be watching on Disney+. Well, because schadenfreude is one of my vices, I'm delighted to inform you that no, here in the United States, nobody is watching this turd.
Oh my God, I don't care!
Nobody gives a shit about Doctor Who in the United States. It turns out that fundamentally changing the character of the Doctor has driven people away. And now, the horde of Whovians who would have been spreading positive word of mouth about this classic old show are not doing it with these new episodes because they have been so apocalyptically bad. I mean, for Pete's sake, the Doctor cries in just about every damn episode that he's in nowadays. He's no longer a stoic thrill seeker, he's an overly emotional pansy who tries way too hard to appeal to what Disney and the BBC hopes will be a new crowd of people.
I want you guys to like me and you look at me like I'm a freak.
I will say this though, that at this stage, tears seem at least somewhat appropriate for Ncuti Gatwa and Doctor Who, because the show didn't even show up on the top 10 list for streaming in the United States, but it appears that the show did get its ass beat by Wallace and Grommit, which came on right after Doctor Who in the UK. The overnight figures for Wallace and Grommit were literally double the numbers for the Doctor, meaning that a bunch of people deliberately had the TV off during Doctor Who and then they turned it on for Wallace. The thing is, people would have shown up for Doctor Who, but they can't be bothered to watch the self-proclaimed queer version of the Doctor, which I unaffectionately refer to as Doctor.
What the hell is even that?
But alright, let's talk about the Christmas special for Doctor Who. A whole bunch of angry little pissants in my comment section tried desperately to argue with me about how the overnight ratings for the show looked, claiming that actually it was a big success. Apparently, the idea of comparisons is a bit too much for these jackasses to comprehend. They can't fathom how a major drop-off from previous years is a bad thing. They simply see the 4 million overnight viewers in a vacuum and they cling desperately to the narrative that all is well. But the truth is that this Christmas special is on pace for around 6.5 million viewers for the 7-day viewership figures, and that is around half of what they used to get for Christmas specials during the Matt Smith and David Tennant eras. It's around 70% of what they got during Capaldi's Christmas specials, and it's a drop-off of 15% year over year compared to the first Ncuti Gatwa Christmas special. There is no way to spin this in a positive light unless you purposely put on blinders. 4 million viewers is a lot, certainly, but not compared to the powerhouse that this thing ought to be. And no, the excuse that they are abandoning all of these old school UK viewers for a plethora of Disney Plus viewers, that does not hold water. Look at this here. It wasn't even in the top 10, as you can see here on Disney Plus itself on the day that it released. That is abysmal. And If you want evidence of the fact that people in the UK are no longer interested in this franchise, check this tweet out, which brought this fact to my attention. This ex-user posted an image of TV Zone, trying to spin the results of Joy to the World into a positive thing. This person wrote, "Strong performance? What planet are you on?" Wallace and Grommit, that was literally on straight afterward, got 9.38 million viewers, more than double the ratings of Doctor Who. Where did all those people come from, I wonder? Was the weather bad outside, or did they all come in from touching that grass? And of course, he's referring to Ncuti Gatwa telling people who criticized the show that they were all bigots and that they needed to go outside and touch grass. And he's also referring to the excuse that they used earlier this year when the first season came out, and they said that the reason that there was bad viewership for that show was because the weather was so nice outside. But in any case, Wallace and Grommit hit about 9.4 million overnight viewers, and that movie came on right after the Doctor Who special, meaning that people were deliberately keeping their TVs off during Doctor Who's showing. I've heard from many people that it's a bit of a tradition in the UK that they leave the TV on throughout the day, and that Doctor Who would always at least be running in the background. But it looks like a bunch of people were purposely not doing that this Christmas, and then they switched the TV on when Doctor Who was over. That is a scathing indictment of how this show has completely lost its connection with the people of the UK. And I'm just not sure what further evidence people need to see to prove to them that Doctor Who is no longer the powerhouse that it once was. Here in the States, it is not attracting all those new viewers that they thought they would bring in with this new version of the Doctor, and over in its homeland, they are losing viewers at an alarming rate. At one point, the gimmick of changing the immutable characteristics of the Doctor did manage to bring in some new viewers, but it reminds me of all the comic books from the 90s, where they had big, splashy holographic covers on every issue in an attempt to draw people in to buy the product. It worked at first, but once people realized there was no substance in the actual comic itself, nothing of major value, people abandoned those comics in droves. Doctor Who is the same way. The gimmick drew some people in with Jodie Whittaker when she first started, but by the end of her run, people were completely checked out. They had lost around half their viewership because the shit is stale by now, and nobody cares to watch what is, in effect, cultural vandalization of an IP that was once quite beloved. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your mockery of modern Doctor Who into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching me, Hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.